Alright, Mega Evolutions is going crazy, and boxes are heading toward about 360 now. So if you look at the cases, they're up another $174, and they've been rising about $100 a day. They were $1,800 at release. They're already up $350. If you bought a case, like you're already up so much already, based on that. And then loose booster boxes, like one of them's at $359.99, one of them's at 336. Yeah. Actually, that's yeah, 359.99 or 349. That's actually wrong. But yeah, the booster box is still selling really good. Like they're in the low 300s now, they're in the like getting to the mid 300s. So just doing really well. This is selling for like close to $10 a pack. The cheapest option is the cheaper box, which is 934 a pack. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how expensive these pack prices are. I'm really curious how when we get the second wave, supposedly how it'll impact things. But yeah, demand actually rose. 258 sold yesterday. It was dropping down to the hundreds, and people are just eating up the supply of this. 258 sold. For this one over here, big buyout, like 170 sold. So yeah, demand's actually increasing. That's really scary. And then cases over here, sold 20 cases yesterday. So people are buying the cases. 20 cases. That's 120 boxes plus 170. That's 390 plus 390 plus that's 600 650-ish boxes. That's crazy, being sold already. For and as expected, it's very similar to Destined Rivals, to be honest. I think a lot of people like Pokemon. They just put two or three really good sets in a row. There's Destined Rivals for booster boxes. There's Mega Evolution, Phantasmal Flames coming out. Like they just have too many good products coming out now. For the ETBs, they're not rising as fast. It kind of makes sense. They're kind of more stagnant. Same thing happened in Destined Rivals, but Lucario boxes, PC ETBs are up like 1.5. I added the Gardevoir one. It's at about 230. And then the ETBs, the normal ETBs, they dropped a little bit. Lucario's down 6. So Lucario and Gardevoir are about the same price now, actually. But if you want to look at demand numbers for Gardevoir, sold about 82 yesterday for the normal one, and then for Lucario, sold about 83, and then for PCTBs, sold 18 yesterday for Lucario, and for Gardevoir sold about 20. Alright, 151 UPC action. So I've been talking about 151 UPCs for a while. I've been saying how the demand's been doubled lately because, like you just see, it's been about 6 per day a lot of the days. And I mentioned that these are probably heading towards 700. The price art looks really good. And I mentioned that Trading Card World was one of the reasons why the price was capped. And funnily enough, I doubt they watch my videos, but they did change their price. I wonder if it's probably because I do see the quant. I think they had like 40 yesterday. They're over here now. Now they have 38. So I think they usually change the price once they start getting sales. So they raised it to I think it was at 700 yesterday or 680. I don't remember, but it's at least 715 now plus shipping. It's still kind of in like decent range because the next seller is like 750. So they didn't raise it like a bunch, but yeah, now the ceiling of 700 is kind of gone. It actually doesn't take that many UPCs to get to 700. 675 is ripe for the picking. There's only about 6 of them until 675, and then there's 5 of them from this other, so quite a bit, but then total of 11 until $700 pretty much. Pack prices finally are rising. So the number of packs sold yesterday and today, over here says 39.52. I think I did add it up. 55 packs sold yesterday, but 102 packs sold today. So 151 packs haven't really been selling hundreds of packs in a while. Usually it's around 30 to 50, so 100 packs today is really good. And as I said before, this thing's heading towards 1750. It's basically already 1750. If you add the number of packs that are below 1750, let's see, you see 3 here. There's 13 plus 14, that's 36. 36 plus that's 42. 42. And then this is like so 42 packs. 43 packs, this is a little like 1720, and then this is 1650. So yeah, less than 100 packs under 1750. This is 100 packs 1750. And here you get a little bit of quantity. Here you get about 170 packs. So but then so it's about 100 packs until 1700 packs till 1750, and then about 100 180 packs until like $19. Actually, that's a huge jump, $19. So yeah, there's a huge jump over here. If anyone wanted to manipulate the pack price, they could just buy all those packs. But yeah, just organic demand and stuff. Like people need packs for streams. People just want to buy loose packs. They don't want to deal with shipping or whatever. Pack prices are going up quite a bit. They've been going up for a while. 151 is not going to stop. Booster bundles are back up to about like 105. So 17 sold yesterday, and yeah, they are still heading toward 110. But it just takes some time. As people aren't fully excited to pay over like $100 for a booster bundle. For bundle displays, 1-0 sold yesterday. They finally had a sale the other day, but there's still 2 left around this price points. For ETBs, they've been selling about 1 per day, but they're still just under $400. For PCTBs, I noticed, let's see. Yeah, demands, I noticed yesterday demand is kind of rising. I wonder if this will keep up. But you see this little increase, and I did note yesterday that the number of ETBs under $1,000 was getting less. But I do see 3 more from CCT gains, so there's still some time. For binders sold 0 yesterday. Demand's been kind of rising, but I guess no sales today. For mini tin displays, hasn't had any sales September 21st. For Snorlax promo, they sold 85 yesterday, pretty good amounts. These are still in the low 20s, so I see like this is about $23 over here. And then Blooming Waters sold 3 yesterday. Yeah, 150. I don't know 150 wasn't getting any cheaper than this. They'd have to do some substantial reprints. They did reprint Sea and Sky for a while before release, and then finally increased. So if we get more Blooming Waters, people are gonna just go after it like crazy. But don't be surprised if a lot it just gets bought up really quickly. For the price changes, bundles are up 6. UPCs are technically down 8, but yeah, their ceiling's been removed. And then binders are down $4. All right, Destined Rivals rises back up to about 440. So it's been a long time coming. There's always been just 1 or 2 cheaper sellers. But finally, the price is a little more solid. Prices are starting to stagnate a little bit at this price point. I really think a lot of people are going to Mega right now. There's a little more opportunity there, and a lot of people getting to Destined Rivals. Honestly, they are kind of the FOMOers right now if you're getting into it right now. So yeah, it makes sense that they'll go to Mega Evolutions. The booster boxes are up about $12, and then PCTs are down 3, but demand is still fine. You're still selling about 20 per day. Just the prices are stagnating a little bit. For the cases, they're about 2,800 right now. One sold yesterday, 2 sold today, so people are still buying cases. There's a little hovering around 2,800, but it does feel like it's a little more stable, and it's also definitely more expensive. So it's $466 a booster box for a case, and then $440 for a normal booster box. For PCTBs, they're still at $390, sold 4 yesterday. So yeah, demand had gone down a lot. Even 4 is not really that many, but it's starting. I guess that's a little better. For normal ETBs, they're still just under 120, sold 16 yesterday, which isn't bad, but I am starting to see the 124s and 125s appear, so this is probably going to rise soon. And then for bundles, you see 34 sold yesterday. That's a little more normal. Usually it's in the 20s or less, and they're still stuck around $60. All right, for Crown Zenith, pack prices keep fluctuating around, let's say, $14 and $15. They're back to close to $15. So you see 20 packs around $14.70, and after that we're pretty much back at $15. Still not, there's no budge in these sellers over here. I really wonder if they just raise their price a little bit or decrease their quantity, if they would if the price would rise or whatever. But right now, yeah, there's a little too much quantity for the pack price to rise above $15 for Crown Zenith. You do see prices kind of recover. So yeah, packs are back up about 75 cents to $1. Bundles are back up to 128, so they're up $3. ETBs are having kind of around 220 lately, and now they're back to 218. But yeah, Sea and Sky, let's look at that. Sold 0 yesterday, one say, yeah, Sea and Sky hasn't really been selling that well. Just there hasn't really been the push and need for Crown Zenith to kind of rise, especially with like other opportunities like Prismatic and 151 being out there. More Prismatic at the moment, but 151 was cheaper than Crown Zenith, and it's gotten more expensive and it just keeps kind of rising. So it's a little more priority to get that sometimes, especially if they're around similar prices. Crown Zenith ETB sold 3 yesterday, and they are heading back to like 220, 225. So supply is starting to run out. There's one more left over here that's cheap. For bundles, back at 128. They haven't sold since December 25th, so unfortunately bundle demand has been really dry all of a sudden. But we're still really like we're still just so many bundles away from 140. It can happen like any day now. And then PCTBs dropped to about 440. Yeah, these are kind of dropping less more and more. So now this one's really cheap. If this gets to $400, that's probably like a screaming buy, but we'll kind of see how far this drops. All right, Paldean Fates pack demand has doubled lately, so about 100 packs sold today, which is really uncharacteristic of Paldean Fates. I don't always look at the number of packs sold, but it's been pretty clear that from the bar that the packs have been rising, and 119 sold yesterday. So it's very rare that we'll see like more than 100 packs of Paldean Fates sold. Like even if you're in the low like double digits, like that's also kind of rare. So yeah, you see it went up to about like 31. It says 55 over here, but if you add it up, you say 44 and 20 over here. Over 100 packs were bought today. You do see with the graph that the pack price has gone down, and yeah, people are starting to buy it up, and possibly we're getting ready for a Paldean Fates shifts. I know some people are kind of worried about the December reprints and maybe trying to offload things. But yeah, I don't know if like December's a long ways away. Like a lot can happen even like 2 weeks to a month. So yeah, it might not be that cheap once it comes out. Booster bundles, they sold 22 yesterday, so that's quite a bit more. Usually it's like around like 10 or less. So it's like double as normal, and we're still always around 110. There's always just a couple that aren't, and now we're down to 71 bundles. We've been around 100 for a while. Now we're back to like 70s. For ETBs went back up to 292. They were at like 275 yesterday. So ETBs rose about $16. Bundle displays though they dropped 45, and PCTB dropped about 5. Bundles dropped about 1. But yeah, these kind of rose back up. I see one sold yesterday, so that was probably the cheaper one, or I don't know if I see it actually, so I don't know what happened to it. For PCTBs, still at 475, so yeah, this is definitely a big shift because a lot of the PCTs were hugging like the 490s, and now we're at 475, and this is 480, so just like a lot cheaper PCTBs. And then bundle displays sold 0 yesterday, and now there's another cheaper one over here. Is that the same seller? Might be, yeah, this Twisted TCG Pokey is playing a bunch of cheaper Paldean Fates right now, so possibly a good pickup. It's about $30 less than the next seller. Alright, Prismatic pack demand is still going crazy, so between yesterday and today already, there's 450 packs sold, so the numbers don't look as high, but if you add it up, it's about 240 today and about 210. 240 yesterday, about 210 today. There's just a lot of other packs bought if you add it all up. Pack prices, they go back down a little bit toward like the 880. You see quite a few packs available, but despite all that, like all that pack rise, like despite all the packs being added, like so much being bought, that the price is still about the same. Smack is just really cheap right now, still, and people are still buying it up. For the ETBs are still around the same price, around 138 right now. 27 sold yesterday. These are still pretty leveling out at about 139 or 140. So yeah, I don't know if we'll see like another rise anytime soon. Seems like they may have topped out for now. For cases, ECB cases, no sales last couple of days. Price went down to about 1800. So a few more cases are now available at that price. Yeah, as ETBs become more stagnant, the desire for cases can become more stagnant, and over time, they'll start rising again or start moving again, and people will buy more cases. SPCs seem like they're kind of leveling out around 330 right now. So one sold yesterday, 4 sold today. I was seeing more sellers around 350 before, just coming up, but now all these are around 330 right now. So these are starting to level out a little bit. For bundles have gone down to about $60 to $63. Sold about 71 yesterday, and still could go back up to about 64 or 65. That's kind of their normal range. For PCTBs, they're down to 402. So 0 yesterday, 1 today, and yeah, just a lot of bunch up around just 400. So Prismatic might be slowing down for now, as a lot of opportunities been kind of bought up. You can still buy up a cheap Prismatic, but it's not like as urgent. Like you're gonna be paying a few more dollars than you did before. Still some good pickups. So these bundle displays are around the same price at 1600, no sales recently. For main 10 displays, you see finally had a sale, sold 2 today, but yeah, really low sales kind of ever since the Costco thing came out. And for the EV promo is kind of the main thing still selling. You see still 199 sold yesterday, 80 sold the day before that. This thing really heading to $15. So this is kind of honestly, this seems like the most obvious opportunity. This and kind of loose packs, and if you like the pack prices, if you like the price of anything, sure. But as far as anything like going to rise soon, like this seems one of those obvious things. The volume is moving quite a bit for this, and then Lucario boxes. I'm trying to pick these up from people who, but most people just have 2 of them. It's kind of hard to get good quality, and these are around 120 right now, and they're hovering around 120. And yeah, I recommend you get these if you just want some loose packs, but you can still get bundles kind of cheap. So I kind of personally prefer bundles, just a little hard to get as many as I want. All right, Mega Evolution. So price is about the same yesterday. So let's look at demand numbers. Demand is actually possibly increasing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mega Evolution is going to cause some of it to rise more. So people underestimate how much Mega Evolution should be. Right now, it's at 360 right now. I think I should have bought more, probably missed out, but I guess I'm okay with that. Yeah, 47 sold just today for Phantasmal Flames, and yeah, prices are still about the same, but yeah, we're seeing so much being bought considering it's only pre-release. For ETBs, we see sold 42 yesterday, 16 today. We're still seeing like, about 40 being sold some days. PCTBs back at 600 as of yesterday, and 0 sold yesterday, but 2 sold today. So still selling usually about 2-3 per day. For bundles, we see sold 8 yesterday, so 3 today. So nothing too crazy there. And then for cases, we see cases selling pretty much every day. And yeah, the case premium is becoming a really big deal with the new sets. Are joining together, both booster boxes even out at about 265. So the non-enhanced ones was starting to be cheaper, but now it's at 265. 6 booster boxes sold for the enhanced one, so still pretty good sales. Really just heading toward 270 to see a few extra boxes over here. It's actually pretty cheap because it's 5 boxes and you get the shipping split out. So it's basically 253 a booster box. But if you're gonna buy that, you might as well buy a case because that's like the same price as the case right now. For the other box, 2 sold yesterday, 2 sold today. So still a good amount of demand. Also heading toward 270 as well. For PCTBs, they're still around 190. 1 sold yesterday and still always close to 200, just not quite there yet. The cases, they sold 0 yesterday, and yeah, just people haven't bought out these cases yet. So these cases should be around 1600, but they're not quite there yet. And then the other cases, no sales. But yeah, 265 per loose booster box versus 253 is kind of a no-brainer for a case if you're gonna get into the journey together. All right, Black Bull White Flare demand number. So PCTB is still around 250. We see 0 sold yesterday. I was thinking these might rise today, but I guess they didn't. They're still stuck in the mid 250s. For White Flare, they're at 225, sold also 0 yesterday. I have a feeling a lot of the attention is shifting to Mega Evolutions because that's going crazy. For Black Bull ETBs though, they're at 90. Usually they're at like 88s. So 20 sold yesterday, that's pretty good. And then White Flare is still at 82. Sold 19 yesterday. For Black Bolts, bundles are a little down there, about like 53 or 54. Only sold about 22 yesterday, and yeah, stuck in that price range. And then White Flare bundles are rising. They're at 52 now. 26 sold yesterday, and yeah, they're heading toward maybe 50. Actually, they're still around 52. So the price is starting to even out a little bit. All right, Final Fantasy cases finally go back to the 8,000. So they're about 8,200 now, 8,175, up about $350. So that's 113 a pack. And yeah, we're seeing, yeah, people should have bought more of it when it was really cheap. So it was 1 sold today. It was the last cheap one. So you see a bunch of cheap ones. 7,500 could have saved quite a bit of money. And now you see a bunch of hovering at 8,200. This is kind of where it got stuck at before. So we'll see if it can cross that. For collector boxes, they're around the same price. Sold about 8 yesterday. You're starting to see more sales around like just below 10, like 8 per day. It does seem like the boxes are starting to stagnate in the upper 1200s. There's a bunch of 1270s, 1280s. Then you see 1290. So I'm not exactly sure, but it seems like this seems like the comfortable range right now. Packs, I need to scroll down. You're seeing some cheaper packs, but otherwise pack prices are still about the same. I actually didn't look at the listings yet, but pack prices, if they had actually dropped to officially like 116, where most sellers want to sell, like 160, 117, that would have been pretty significant, because at that pack price, they're pretty close to cases, and obviously cases are worth way more than loose packs. But yeah, they're definitely down 5 for that cheaper seller. Box collector box down 2, mega packs are up 2, Japanese down 5, play box down 3, and gift bundles down 7. That's actually pretty low for gift bundles. They're usually not 190. But for pack demand, packs sold. Packs sold about 13 yesterday, so still maintaining barely double digits, but still doing it. For gift bundles, Omega packs, we see 6 sold yesterday, which is pretty good. Just hovering around 130 to 133. Japanese, sold 1 yesterday, so still selling about 1 every other day ish, or every day. Still trying to break 700. Play boxes still just below 270. 9 sold yesterday, and that's where the price is hovering right now. Cases, still around 14, mid 1400s. Sold 0 yesterday, and I mentioned, yeah, the case quantity is 10 again. There was a little more quantity added yesterday. And then gift bundles, usually not this cheap, but sold 5 yesterday, 6 today. Still sells about like 5, 6 per day last couple of days. You're seeing 2 cheaper sellers, and it goes back to about like almost 200. For Spiderman, still pretty cheap at 520 right now. Sold 100 yesterday, but yeah, prices don't really look like they're gonna rise anytime soon. Not based on the price ladders. And then Spider-Man Playbox is down to 150, fortunately, so sold 80 yesterday. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.